think Erika Kirk had anything to do with the husband's death?
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big question.
Why would they?
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
It's evil. Charlie and I have always been very clear on our stance. Israel, Jewish people.
Jewish donors, they have a lot of explaining to do, a lot of decoupling to do.
Erika Kirk is under serious pressure right now, and the whole situation is getting louder by the minute. She's now talking about trying to shut down Theo Von, one of the biggest podcast voices out right now, and people are confused. Why him? The answer is simple. Theo stepped into a conversation most people avoid and started connecting dots that others only talk about in private. That move alone shifted the energy, and now everything feels tense and unpredictable. Here's where things really start getting messy. When Rusky made jokes about Erika's image and questioned her public persona, she didn't react at all. Total silence. That wasn't random. Comedy didn't shake her because it stayed on the surface and didn't touch the deeper questions people are starting to raise. But the moment Theo stepped in and pushed into more serious territory, everything flipped fast. The reaction turned intense, and it's clear something struck a nerve. At the same time, there are claims circulating that Erika and Turning Point USA may have gone into full damage control mode, trying to protect their image and push back hard. Some people believe this could be an attempt to redirect attention before the conversation grows even bigger.
Letting fucking politicians slurp on kids. All of our fucking money goes to Israel and they're using it to fucking genocide people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us.
Whether that's accurate or not, one thing is clear. This situation is not slowing down anytime soon. And then Candace Owens enters the picture, backing Theo publicly and hinting that more information could come out soon. That move adds even more pressure and makes everything feel like it's building towards something bigger. Now let's talk about the exact moment that set everything off. Theo Von didn't just casually speak during his podcast with Jake Paul. He dropped a question that instantly changed the mood. You could feel the shift right through the screen. Out of nowhere, Theo looked straight at Jake Paul and asked a question that completely changed the vibe. The energy dropped instantly, and things got uncomfortable. Fast! Watch Jake closely in that moment. His body language switched up immediately. He started shifting around, looking uneasy.
Yeah, I'm Jewish. I just found it out. Like, I knew my mom's side of the family was Jewish, but she never, said that, yeah, you're actually Jews, and then I verified it. Yeah. And it's crazy.
Stumbling over his words, and even grabbed mouthwash just to stall for a few extra seconds. That's not a normal reaction, and viewers picked up on it instantly. Think about it like this. When someone is asked about a serious situation involving a public figure, and they fully believe everything is clear and straightforward, the response is usually quick and confident. No hesitation, no dodging, no awkward pauses. But here, that's not what happened. Instead, things got quiet, tense, and full of hesitation. And here's the key detail that keeps people talking. Theo didn't ask for a full breakdown or a long explanation. He asked one simple question about whether Erika could be involved. That's it. So when Jake, who's known for being bold and outspoken, suddenly shuts down and avoids the topic, it raises eyebrows. Why avoid it? What made that moment so different? That hesitation alone was enough to get the internet.
Okay, do you think Erika Kirk had anything to do with the husband's death? Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. And that's mouthwash, but yeah, keep having some. Do you
I love Listerine, bro.
It's a good stuff. That's a new Listerine green apple.
Bro,
You're funny, dude.
I don't know if you can ask that
You're pretty
question.
funny. Okay.
I don't know. I'll talk about a lot of things, but I don't think I'll talk about Charlie Kirk and his assassination.
Buzzing, and it only pushed the conversation even further. And it didn't stop there, because when Theo appeared with Joe Rogan, the same kind of pattern showed up again. Theo stayed direct and confident, but Joe seemed uncomfortable and tried to shift the conversation away. Take a closer look at that moment. Instead of engaging directly, Joe acted like he wasn't fully following what Theo was saying. It felt awkward, almost like he wanted to move past it as quickly as possible. Then things got even more tense when Joe briefly brought up global tensions involving Iran. The mood shifted again, and you could feel that the conversation was entering territory that made people uneasy. And this right here is what really triggered everything. It wasn't jokes, it wasn't viral clips, and it definitely wasn't people laughing. Erika didn't react to any of that because it didn't touch the deeper narrative surrounding her. But the second people started asking more serious questions and trying to connect different pieces, everything changed instantly. Theo pointed toward a possible international angle. He directly asked Jake Paul if he believed Erika could be involved in what happened to her husband. Then he brought that same energy onto Joe Rogan's platform and kept pushing into topics that others clearly didn't want to touch. That's when the tension really peaked. Soon after, reports started circulating that Erika and Turning Point USA may have gone into full response mode. According to these claims, there was a coordinated effort to push back against Theo and slow the conversation down before it spread further. Some people even believe that social media accounts, both automated and real, started flooding timelines with negative narratives aimed at discrediting him. One angle that kept showing up focused on Theo's connection to Candace Owens. Suddenly, posts appeared suggesting Theo wasn't speaking independently.
It's all just a cat and mouse game. People are like, we'll elect the Democrats next time. It's like, but it's all the same. Has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting politicians slurp on kids. All of our money goes to Israel and they're using it to genocide people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us and our religious leaders are talking about the poll. It's just like, what is going, I don't know, man.
But instead, repeating ideas influenced by Candace. Old images from Theo's social media started getting reposted with captions, trying to frame him as someone being guided instead of thinking for himself. The message behind those posts felt obvious. Shift the attention away from the original questions and turn it into a debate about credibility. Instead of focusing on what Theo actually said, the conversation became about who he's connected to and who he spends time with. But here's where things get even more interesting. None of those responses directly address the main questions people were asking. No detailed explanations, no clear breakdowns, no real attempt to clarify anything. Instead, the conversation kept getting redirected, and labels like conspiracy talk started getting thrown around to shut it down. And people are noticing that shift more than ever, because going after the person asking questions is very different from actually answering those questions. That difference is exactly why this situation keeps gaining momentum. Meanwhile, Candace Owens stepped forward and publicly backed Theo without hesitation. She made it clear she's not backing down from this conversation, and that only added more attention and energy to the situation. She also responded to suggestions that Erika should take legal action against critics, making it clear she's ready for whatever comes next. And instead of calming things down, that response made everything even louder. After that earlier viral skit, Erika was later seen out at a public event, and the energy there told a completely different story. People around her were showing support, offering encouragement, and making it clear she still has a strong base behind her. That moment proves something important. Even while the online conversation keeps growing louder, she's not standing alone. But at the same time, everything feels like it's building up fast. The questions are still floating around. Reactions keep stacking on top of each other, and the tension, it's only getting stronger by the day. And this is where things take another turn, because now it's not just about one podcast clip or one awkward moment anymore. This is turning into a full-on narrative battle, and people are starting to pick sides without hesitation.
People have always done that also to stay in power.
Oh, yeah.
And even Bill Clinton said that about Netanyahu. Bill Clinton said Netanyahu wants war so he can stay in power.
For sure, dude. People call him the yarmulke Hitler. That's what they call
Who are
him.
these people?
Everybody does.
Which people?
Countless.
Come on, people?
Huh?
What are you saying?
What do you mean, people? You talking about
What are you talking about,
black
dog?
folks? What
No!
are you saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
Let's not draw conclusions.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
What started as one simple question from Theo Von has now expanded into something way bigger than anyone expected. It's spreading across platforms, timelines, and conversations everywhere. People aren't just watching anymore. They're analyzing every little detail, every reaction, every pause, and every move that follows. And once that level of attention hits, controlling the situation becomes nearly impossible. Now the questions are evolving too. It's no longer just about what was said. It's about why people reacted the way they did. Why did Jake Paul suddenly freeze up like that? Why did Joe Rogan seem so quick to shift away from the topic? And why is Erika responding so strongly now, when earlier moments didn't even get a reaction? That pattern right there is what's making this feel bigger than just internet drama. People are lining up timelines, comparing responses, and searching for consistency. And when things don't fully match up, That's when speculation starts moving even faster. At the same time, Erika's supporters are pushing back hard. They're saying this whole situation is being blown way out of proportion. According to them, clips are being taken out of context, conversations are being twisted, and people online are jumping to conclusions without having the full picture. And to be fair, that kind of thing happens all the time when something goes viral this fast. But here's the issue. Even with those defenses, the main questions haven't disappeared. They're still sitting there, unanswered, and every time someone avoids them or redirects the focus, it only brings more attention right back to them. And now the spotlight is shifting again, because people aren't just focused on what Theo said anymore. They're looking at how fast the response came in afterward, the speed of the pushback, the way certain narratives showed up almost instantly, and how coordinated everything felt has people raising serious eyebrows. Some are calling it strategic damage control. Others say it's just normal public relations in today's digital world. Either way, the impact is the same. It's keeping the conversation alive and pushing it into even more spaces.
I'm confused. I can't believe we went to this war. When we started bombing Iran, I was like, this can't be true.
And what about Lebanon now?
I know. Israel's invaded Lebanon. Yeah.
And it's like, just stop. Like, what do you need?
Well, they're trying to, supposedly, they're trying to stop the terrorists.
Yeah, that's crazy, though, if you're the terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to stop them, stand in front of the mirror and start there.
Meanwhile, Candace Owens continuing to stand beside Theo adds another layer to everything. Now it's not just one voice speaking, it's multiple voices reinforcing the same direction. And when that happens, it becomes a lot harder for people to dismiss everything as random talk. And let's be honest for a second. Theo has never been known for playing it safe. His whole brand is built on being unpredictable, asking uncomfortable questions, and going into topics most people avoid. That's exactly why this moment hits so hard. When someone like him leans into a topic, people pay attention immediately. But that kind of spotlight comes with pressure too, because now every word, every clip, every appearance gets picked apart. One unclear moment, one awkward response, and the entire narrative can shift instantly. That's why how people react matters so much right now. In situations like this, silence can be just as loud as speaking up. Avoiding a question gets noticed, changing the subject gets noticed, and people start reading into everything, whether it was intentional or not. And right now, the internet is doing exactly that. Breaking down body language, replaying interviews, comparing clips, and trying to piece together a bigger picture. It feels like everyone is trying to solve something at the same time, even without having all the details. But here's where things shift again, because behind all the noise, a bigger question is starting to form.
There is something that I feel is so especially effective when you hear Theo Von speak, because he isn't an expert, because he's not trying to be a genius, and it really is coming from his heart. And he shared some choice words regarding Israel and the war that's happening. Like, I love Theo Von for that, and you can just hear the sincerity in his voice versus the propaganda that they're giving us. I feel the same way. I don't know how people can look at what they did in Gaza and believe that that's godly, that it's prophecy, that it is anything but exactly what Theo says, that it just feels satanic. Why we're not allowed to have perspectives, why we're not allowed to have jobs, why we have to be harassed, why our advertisers have to be called, why we have to be censored from YouTube, why they have to smear us and libel us. And like I said, bravery inspires bravery. And truth is going to win.
Not just about Erika, not just about Theo, but about how these situations play out in general. Who actually controls the narrative when something like this goes viral? Is it the person asking the questions, the person being talked about, or the audience reacting in real time? Because right now, it feels like all three are colliding at once. Theo is pushing forward, asking what he wants to ask. Erika is pushing back, trying to protect her image and challenge what she sees as unfair narratives. And the audience? They're right in the middle, reacting, sharing, and deciding what they believe. And that creates a situation where things can escalate fast, because once the audience gets involved at this level, it stops being a controlled conversation. It becomes unpredictable, emotional, and constantly shifting in real time. And there's one more detail people keep circling back to: the timing of everything. The clips dropped fast, the reactions followed even faster, and the responses came almost instantly. That kind of tight timing makes everything feel more intense, more urgent, and way more connected than usual. Now, whether that's just coincidence or something else, people are definitely paying attention to it. Because in situations like this, timing can completely change how everything is viewed. When everything lines up this quickly, it naturally raises more questions. At the end of the day, nobody has all the answers right now. There are claims flying around, strong reactions, pushbacks, and a whole lot of noise. But one thing is clear, this conversation is not fading anytime soon. If anything, it's growing even bigger. More people are stepping in, more clips are resurfacing, and more opinions are forming every single day. It's turning into something that keeps pulling in more attention with every new update. And the biggest question right now, who is actually going to step forward and address everything directly? Because until that happens, this situation is going to keep building, keep shifting, and keep drawing more people into it. And right now, it really feels like this is just the beginning of something much bigger, but Candace Owens didn't let any of this pass quietly, not even for a second. She stepped in with full confidence and made it clear she's not backing down, no matter how much pressure builds around her. That kind of response instantly turned up the intensity and brought even more eyes onto the situation. She also pointed out something that a lot of people weren't even thinking about at first. If this situation ever moved into a legal battle, it wouldn't just be about silencing critics or shutting conversations down. It would open the door to a process where both sides are expected to present their information, documents, and internal communications. That means emails, records, and everything connected to the situation could come into focus. And once that process starts, it's not something that can be easily controlled or reversed. From her perspective, that kind of move wouldn't quiet things down. It would actually make everything louder. More attention, more eyes, and more scrutiny than ever before. And that's exactly why some people believe the idea of legal action is being handled very carefully behind the scenes. Because once that step is taken, the entire narrative shifts, and controlling the direction of the conversation becomes a whole different challenge. At the same time, there are still ongoing claims that Erika and Turning Point USA are actively working to manage how this story is being seen online. Reports suggest there's a strong effort to shape the narrative, redirect attention, and protect their image as everything continues spreading fast. Whether that's a calculated strategy or just a normal reaction during a viral moment, one thing is clear. Was bad. It's keeping the situation alive and constantly in front of people's eyes. Meanwhile, the conversation itself is only getting louder by the day. More clips are being shared, more reactions are pouring in, and more people are jumping into the discussion non-stop. What started as one uncomfortable question has now turned into a full wave of speculation, debates, and non-stop attention that just won't slow down. And here's the truth. No matter which side people are on, the interest in this situation isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The more it gets talked about, the bigger it becomes, and the harder it is to ignore. Everyone is watching closely to see what happens next, who speaks next, and whether any real answers finally come out. So now it all comes down to what happens from here. Will things cool off, or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Because right now, the pressure is still building, and the spotlight is only getting brighter with every passing moment. If you've been keeping up with this story, make sure you like, subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with someone who needs to see it. And stay locked in, because this situation is still unfolding, and we'll catch you in the next one.